What is up, winning team? I must come to you all because I literally cannot sleep because I keep thinking about destroying Jezebel. I can't move on from this situation, you guys. And I'm going to do a video tomorrow, which is now today. It's 2 in the morning, okay, talking about Jezebel. And I'm going to display her work for you guys in a way that you will all understand. Prior to, can we talk about the fact, look, I get it. How do I expect to be feeling tired when I'm blasting rock music in my earphones at 2 in the morning, right? The thing is, I just can't stop thinking about fighting Jezebel. Like, I can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop thinking about it. And the part that made it bad, right, is I heard this new song, and it's not new, it's not like a month old. I heard this song, right? And yeah, yesterday, and I can't stop listening to it, okay? I feel like I've realized my love of music. And the ironic thing about the song that I just found out about an hour ago is the lead singer of the song went to prison for what reason, you might be asking. In being in possession of brass knuckles, which is so funny because I've been wondering, and I've been actually asking the Lord, because I feel like, you know what, I love me a good bit of, warfare. That's my favorite thing about One Piece. It's the sounds of all the different weapons, right? The swords, the guns, like all the powers that they have, right? I just love listening to it. It's like literally music to my ears. So I thought about it like, if I was ever to be a weapons girly, which would be my weapon of choice now, obviously, okay, she's not an American citizen for nothing, but I wouldn't have a gun for the purposes of, however, brass knuckles, now I know it's illegal, so eek. But I might be able to get away with it because I'm a woman, so I can just, flutter my eyelashes at the police officers. But he went to prison for having brass knuckles. And I was like, if this connection isn't a match made in heaven at this moment, that I've just discovered this song. And the funny thing is, in the song, I'm going to play the song for you guys tomorrow, later. In the song, he's singing like he's under the spirit of Jezebel. That's what's getting to me about it. Like, he sounds like what men sound like when they're under the spirit of Jezebel, completely unaware, because she's so good at hiding herself out there and just hiding away, and nobody ever blames her. It's just like the serpent in the garden. Because you see something, guys, can I tell you why I'm so obsessed with Jezebel? Because I'm not going to do what the rest of the world and the adult population is doing, talking about the men are the problem, the women are the problem. No, you're not the problem, I'm not the problem, we're not the problem, but we have a problem. And that is the works of the kingdom of darkness. And we need to make sure that we acknowledge who's the real issue here. Like what Adam and Eve should have done in the garden. Not Adam talking about the woman that you gave me, not Eve talking about. So yeah, that's why she's bothering me. And honestly, I cannot stop thinking about choking her out and watching her take her last breath. So that's what I've been thinking about, and that's why I cannot go to sleep. And I was like, maybe I should make a video. Maybe it will tire me out enough, because I keep saying, you know what, I'm just going to go to bed now. I'm just going to go to bed. No. Sleep is not finding me because I keep thinking about damn Jezebel. And like, I feel like now, because I've realized, guys, I haven't even told you the story of that, how she is where I just was in Italy. And I didn't understand it. I didn't understand what the female energy space issue was happening, where it was, until, what the heck is that? Until after I got back. So yeah, I'm just sick. I'm sick and freaking tired of her terrorizing the men and children. And obviously, this is why I'm stepping up to the plate, because man can't do anything about it. The heck, they all under the damn spells of these Jezebels, right? So, and obviously they're not going to hit a woman, the good guys out there. So this is why I'm just like, I'm literally praying, like when the Lord is doing what he's doing right now, even in the world, I'm just like, God, please bring me with you, because I'm ready to fight with my bare hands, okay? That was the other thing I was thinking about as well. with these experiences I have with men sometimes, honestly, if I could have the strength and power to actually knock them out, oh, what I would give. But obviously, we're not going to do that because we're, anywho. And so, yeah, she's just bothering me now because her work is, she's doing so good. And everyone's just falling for her at every corner because everybody's a freaking dum-dums, right? Look at the Diddy case. Bro got slapped on the freaking wrist. Are you kidding me? And I knew it. I knew the jury of the sheep, all the idiots of the world, this stupid place was going to fail. I knew it, and that's why I've been praying to God for him to just free me of this life with these people who are idiots. And can I tell you the irony of me in this song, right? So the band, the leader of this band, it's just funny how I just find myself having a lot in comparison with these guys who are in rock bands. But anyway, so one of the reasons he had a controversy, right? Everyone's calling him transphobic because you know what he said? He said something to do with the fact that, like, obviously you can't just like fake having a period. Like, he basically called out that Dylan Mulvaney dude for, like, talking about, I know I got some tampons and I got all of this, as if like you can't fake having a period, which is, again, the Lord, this is the first time in years that the Lord has consistently not taken my period pains away. And honestly, I believe it's because he's trying to keep me in check, because this is all I'm thinking about, fighting Jezebel. So he's like, look, you're tired, you can't do anything, just chillax and just settle down, like because, and it's funny, that's what's funny about it, because I'm listening to this song and I'm thinking to myself, the irony that I'm in pain right now. And if I wasn't in pain anyway, and yeah, you might say, guys, also, yeah, go and take some painkillers and all of that. I don't really do that. And also, I feel like if it's the Lord's will, let it be. He probably has a reason. And I actually think that part of the problem for us as women in this day and age is because we don't actually experience our periods. Like, this is why I've been off birth control for a long time, and I'm grateful that I have been. Because we don't experience our periods and go through all the full motions of it because we're on birth control and this, that, and the third, I don't think we experience this necessary monthly taming required by the Lord, where we are reminded and humbled that we are indeed just girls. Womans, right? We're just women, and yeah, we need to chill out, because yeah, had my period not come in, yeah. But yeah, and that's what I think is actually part of the thing that's working against us as women, and we're not tapped into our femininity anymore, because I'm actually so cringy at this minute in time, and it's all because I went to freaking Italy. Anyway, we're not like engaged with our femininity enough, so we're not in our truest and best form. And that's what I actually think is incredible about Jezebel. She's doing her makeup on the balcony. She's all Ahab. Oh, you want that piece of land? Don't worry, I'll go and kill them for you. Like, this is what I realized about the dudes, right? The men of the world, when they're telling me the stories of the things that they've been through with women. And it's like, literally, bless their hearts. I don't want to be the one to have to say it, right? But they're just like dogs, realistically speaking. You know what I mean? You just got to love and nurture them, and they're extremely obedient. So Jezebel is out here. I'm not going to go to sleep at this point, but Lord, I really want to sleep because I have things to do tomorrow. But anyway, so Jezebel, she's out here playing into that. She's maximizing her femininity. She's playing into it, and they're eating it up. And then that's why no one's guessing her. People have talked about Delilah plenty of times. People have talked about even Mary Magdalene. You know what I'm saying? In the Bible, people called out Rahab for being a prostitute and all this, that, and the third, right? People's calling me out, and that's the funny thing. That's why I love this whole story arc for me, because it's like, you guys are entrusting yourself, these women, You're entrusting those women, yeah, and treating me like I'm the witch. Why do you guys think I'm awake at this time? Because this is when the witches are awake. They're awake doing their seances with the cats in the forest, right? This is true, by the way. They're doing their seances. Well, I believe, I don't know about the cats part, but they are doing their seances at the early hours of the morning. So my argument to the Lord was, well, if they're going to be singing their praises and their worship to their God, well, I'm going to sing my praises and my worship to my God. At the same time, because that's how part of my spiritual warfare, fighting back against what the devil's doing. Because while we're all asleep, including the men, right? Just like how you see dogs are so cute in the house, they're just asleep, they're just, meanwhile, where are the cats? Out with me in the middle of the night, out and about, looking at me like, why are you here? And I'm like, why are you here? Go back to your people. But nevertheless, so yeah, if we're gonna be up, we're gonna fight back, basically. And yeah, I'm just done with Jezebel. I am done with her. I am done with Jezebel. Like, them ones where it's like mess around and find out, guys. I'm not the angry type, you know what I mean? I'm not violent. I don't like, it reminds me of when I watched Naruto for the first time, and even watching One Piece, and this is exactly how God is as well. This is why I believe he's going to retaliate, where it's like, and you know what? I don't even want to have to do anything, actually. I would just like to love you. Because that was like Naruto would always try to befriend everyone, right? I watched all of Naruto, all of Shippuden. He's always trying to befriend everybody. Similar to Luffy in One Piece, who Luffy fights like a real fighting. This is why people can't handle watching One Piece, because when Luffy fights in One Piece, and it goes on for like 40 episodes, and he is near death, right? But he's doing it for the people he cares about, and I have so much respect for that, and it reminds me of Christ. Anyway, so yeah, Naruto is like, I don't even want to have to do anything right here and now, okay? I don't want to have to, but if you're gonna force me, then I'm gonna have to rise up, and you're gonna have to take the L. And that's all I can think about, is delivering this woman the biggest L possible in all of history. No wonder I'm not asleep. I'm drinking a freaking Boost. And by the way, they've changed the recipe. Also, 75p is ridiculous. These used to be 39p, and I'm not happy about it. And no, it's not expensive, obviously, but it's the principle of the thing. Anywho, so it's just like, that's why I'm just like, God, if you're not going to allow me to actually fight in this spiritual battle that we're in, I just miss me with this. I don't need to do up lovey-doveys. I was thinking to myself just now, if it wasn't for the life that I've lived and the experiences that I've had, I would be another one of the cute little girlies talking about, and I'm making sourdough bread for me and my husband. I'll be doing the same thing. I can't now. Instead, I'm watching Rhea Ripley, who's actually the one who confirmed to me that I'm going to do my final finishing move, which I'm not going to tell you guys what it is, because I saw her do it. Basically, I'm going to tell you guys because this is too good. She just popped. She's a WWE fighter, and obviously, WWE, pinch of salt and all of that. I was never into WWE growing up. Anywho, not important. And she basically pops herself like in the corner of the ring, and then wraps her legs around this girl's neck. And I was like, that is it, you guys. That is the move. Because I need to know. So I've just been negotiating with the Lord that can we arrange for me to actually meet her, because I need to know how to do this, because I need to know. And I'm not going to sleep. I don't think I'm going to sleep, you guys, because I can't. This is why I can't sleep. I'm telling you guys, I can't sleep. People are like, just have some this and put on some rain sounds in the background. No. All I can hear in the background is the sound of the slaves that are the men and children of the world falling for every trap of Jezebel. And I don't want to hear nothing more about it. I'm sick and tired. I'm done. So that's the thing. So it's like, God, well, you let them poke the bear. And what, am I supposed to just sit back and just be all cute and nice and just like, oh, I'm gonna just, be a nice, humble woman of God and go and lead the children's church, right? Go and lead the children's church and sing to them about how Jesus and the five. By the way, they did a really good sermon on the loaves of bread story. And actually, it was so beautiful the way the guy explained it in Italy, because he was basically saying that because of the faith that the little boy actually had, that was why Jesus thanked God directly, as in, thank you for finding this faith in this child. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I mean why I'm getting annoyed about Jezebel again, because it's like you're taking advantage of the vulnerability of others, just like cats, right? Everyone defends their cats, just like everyone defends all these women my entire life, always defending them. It's always, that's why I don't explain nothing to guys at all about this stuff, because I know I'm going to be the villain, and it's going to be that I'm making a big deal out of nothing, right? That's what it's always the story of my life. You're making a big deal out of absolutely nothing. So I just keep to myself, because you're already under the spell. You need deliverance. And that's the thing. Right? And that's what I can't stand about her. She just takes advantage, like, because she takes advantage of the trusting, vulnerable people of the world and gets away with it quietly in the background. Like, if people ask themselves why their life is the way that it is, and why they're going through this, they're going through that, and a lot of times people can't pinpoint what it is. Now, obviously, it's not always Jezebel, because it's just a spirit in general. But a lot of times, it's people are under the spirit of Jezebel. And do you know when I realized that? In Italy again. I'm not going to say with who and with how, but don't do it together, right? And I was just like, no way. No way. Like, and you can be spending your entire life trying to like figure out what's wrong, like trying to like do things in your own strength, and little do you know, my ears are really hot right now. Like, that's insane. Lord, please. You can spend your entire life like doing these things, right, and trying to combat whatever it is that you feel is working against you. But if you haven't figured out what the root cause of what's working against you is, you're just going to remain a slave. And that's what's genius about Jezebel, just like Kris Jenner, right? The mom of the world. Oh my gosh, my kids. I just love Kim and Courtney and Chloe and all this, right? Prostituted her daughter. Just like the great prostitute in the book of Revelations, the mother of prostitutes is what it said. You guys, I read it to you. She prostituted her own daughter, and somehow you dinguses in this world, right, are the ones talking about she loves her children so much. Excuse me. Do you think that I would ever let my daughter to... Don't even start with me. Oh, but she's a loving mother. So maybe I'm the wicked one, right? I'm the heathen. Listening to rock music at 2 a.m, right? I'm the heathen somehow. Yeah. This is why I'm saying that men are not smart. The children, bless their hearts, and other women tend to find themselves as also victims of these same types of women. And that's why we've got a lot of women these days repeating the actions of their mothers. You know what I mean? Their biggest hater is their mom. You know what I mean? Forming these toxic relationships. But we get away with it because, oh my gosh, a mother's love is perfect, infallible, unconditional. Nothing is ever wrong. They never could do anything to hurt anyone. Men are the problem. It's always the men that are the problem. You guys, I'm sick of this world. I'm done. This place is so boring to exist in because it's so predictable. So that's how I'm feeling. But yeah, everyone defends Kris Jenner because she's a loving mother, when she's the strongest example of a Jezebel, right? And look what happened. Same with Ahab. Look at her. Well, I remember what I said, weak man, strong woman. She drained every last drop of testosterone that was in his loins. Gone, right? And now he's not even Bruce, who was once a decathlete. A decathlete. That is so impressive. I always thought that because I used to watch the Kardashians in the very early days. So I remember them before they started doing up European noses and BBLs. And I remember discovering that he was a decathlete and thinking that's incredible, because you guys know my favorite job was at Decathlon. I love Decathlon. We're not going to get into Decathlon, but I stan Decathlon. Actually, if they could sponsor me for the fight with Jezebel, I will pop out in some drip from Decathlon. But anyway, so when he made that decision, and I'll never forget, because it's one of those life turning points where like it wasn't that public here, but then he did that. And this is what I'm saying. Can you see the works of the enemy? He did that. And I remember watching that interview that he did with whoever it was, from Diane Sawyer or someone. And I remember feeling the shift in the spirit, like we've taken a turn now, because now this is going to become the thing. And fast forward to one of my new favorite musicians being cancelled for calling out a guy for saying that you can't just try and pretend you're having period pains just because you want to now decide you're going to cosplay as a woman. But obviously I get it, because obviously we do hold all the power, let's be so honest, at this stage. And so yeah, I get why there's a reason. It's all the dudes, a lot of the dudes, and way more dudes, right? Why are we not talking about women trying to compete in men's sports? What about that part? Why are we not talking about that? Yeah, because of the elephant in the womb. So yeah, anyway guys, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try to sleep. I really want to sleep. Lord, please just let me sleep and just let me wake up in the morning. It's the morning. But you guys understand what I'm saying? This is how good she is. Just like how Kris Jenner, I can see the way that Kris Jenner is just coasting on by, getting rich and rich and rich. Every man she has been with, she has taken advantage of. She's a cheater. When a woman actually becomes a cheater, she's man after man, she's just used them for whatever her own desires were, right? And then she's gone on ahead and taught her same villainy to her poor daughters. And then the men who end up without the Kardashians, look at the state of them. Look at Chris Humphries, right? Look at freaking, what's his name? The basketball player that was Khloe Kardashian. Oh, I can't remember his name. The one who ended up in a serious battle with cocaine. And of course, Kanye. And I actually remember, right, on the Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I remember when Chris was like, Kim and Kanye were friends, right? And Chris was all like trying to, like, you know, you should go for him. You know what I mean? Just like the female mother type character. You should go for him. You should give him a chance. You should, you know, trying to push them together. Why? And then what do they do? What do they make sure to do with the male community? Talking about, it's just natural for us to just be piping everything that moves. Yeah, get pregnant. Get pregnant, because once you have a baby with somebody, you're attached for the rest of your lives, whether you guys like it or not. And that's why the divorced couples of the world have put me off being married, because oh my gosh, actually, shoot me if I have to talk to a man for the sake of the fact we had a child who I don't want to have to talk to. But anyway, so of course she's displayed it for the world, and this is what I'm saying, it's in your face. When we get to Judgment Day, do you guys really think you're just going to be there to the Lord like, oh, we didn't know what was happening? He's like, where were your eyes? And that's why Jesus has to say in the Bible, those who have ears, let them hear. Because it's like, just because you have them doesn't mean they're being used at this moment. So yeah, she's just there chilling in the world. Look at her, rich, famous. She's got a new face again. She's looking younger than me. She's all leading us all in the realms of cosmetic surgery as young women and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just witching away. Everybody's under the freaking spell. The men still come back to that family despite what they've seen before, because where is your discernment, Adam? And that's what's happening here. So sorry, everyone, if I can't just sleep at night casually, as if this place isn't hell itself. This society, this is hell. When I realized that this is the closest I'm ever going to get to hell, honestly, made me feel well. I was like, okay, I can actually handle it. I can get through it. I'll never forget, right? In one of my animes, right, that I like to watch, Seven Deadly Sins, right? And again, I love it because in the show, the government needs the help of these people who they consider sins, right? Because each of the seven deadly sins represents one of the sins. They need their help. So they kind of have to put to the side that they don't like how they're doing things and that they are so-called sinful, but they still need them. Hello, Kingdom of God. And there's a bit where Meliodas, whose father is the Demon King, by the way, he's just an incredible character as well, can I just say, because when I'm going to spoil it, by the way, so you might want to skip about 30 seconds if you plan on watching it, But basically, we discover he's in love with this woman called Elizabeth, right? Which again, you can't write this stuff. But anyway, he's in love with a woman called Elizabeth. And the thing is, his dad, the Demon King, and her mum, the what is it? The queen of the goddess race, right? So again, the men are the problem, the men are the demons. She comes from the goddess race. She's got all fairy flying wings. And he's got this tattoo because his sin is wrath, right? And one of the best scenes in the show is he's had his half his powers taken away and he got them back. And when his team saw how much powers he had and they didn't know, because he's just acting chill these days, he's just in love, they were scared. And it's scary to watch him fighting, actually. It's actually scary. Anyways, the reason that I brought him up is, why did I bring up Meliodas? Was it because of the falling in love with thingy? And oh yeah, because with Elizabeth, right? They fell in love over and over again because their parents made a curse together for the two of them that you all can't end up together, because his dad wants him to take over on his part in hell, on purgatory in the show. So he wants him to become the next demon king, and he's all up in love with Elizabeth, right? And but the thing is, their parents came together. The Demon King and the King of the Goddess race came together, right, to create a curse so that every time that she remembers that she's in love with him, she dies. So he's relived his experience of falling in love with her over 100 times, nearly 200 times. The moment that dropped in the show, yeah. Yep. And the funny part is, and this is why I even brought him up, at a certain point in the show, because his dad keeps trying to drag him back to purgatory, right, in hell, which is like 1 minute it's super hot, 1 minute it's super cold. At some point, while he's trying to strategize to get out, him and his friend, they basically figure out how to just exist. And it's just one whole like episode of them just like killing demons and like eating them and like making themselves clothing and just chilling in hell and just making a home for themselves. Like, I guess we're gonna have to be here. That's literally me here. It's like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to participate, right? I'm gonna have to just get with the program because this is where he's gonna be for a little while. Crazy. Anywho, yeah, guys, these are the things I've been thinking about, and it's like, who am I going to talk to while we're all under the spirit of Jezebel? Who am I going to talk to when the Christians are just like trying so hard to talk about the post-tribulation, mid-tribulation, the rapture? Dude, you're talking about the rap. We talk about everything in the book of Revelations, excluding the great prostitute, who the Lord says was getting drunk on the blood of the saints and deceiving the kings of the earth. And we're just here talking about, when is Jesus coming here, or is Jesus coming there, or is this? What does the Lord mean by the 7 lamps and the 7 lampstands? Excuse me, that's what we're talking about? Yeah, Bruce Jenner's. That's the point. And then there's me in a church service yesterday, and all these church services, and what do we see? Yeah, the men not manning. You see, the thing is, it's true what they say about fatherlessness with women, because you see how the relationship I have with the Lord, that's where my standards are actually through the roof entirely. And you know, when I saw this in Italy, my friend's daughter, she's 15, and this guy wanted to talk to her and invited her out to go to this pool park, right? Yeah, bro was not prepared. And she literally said to the fact afterwards, she was like, my dad would never have done this, like, and she was done with it. And I was like, good for you. Never drop your standards ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just boring. That's what I'm saying. It's just boring. I get to know the Lord. I know the Lord. This, honestly, yeah. So this place is just boring. It's all boring. It's all the same story. There's no point in me opening my mouth for the most part. This is why I open my mouth on YouTube. Because if I try to bother to say any of this stuff in person, it's just, you know, the excuses, y'all being the best flying monkeys for good old Jezebel, like Ariana Grande in Wicked. I can't wait for the second part of Wicked to come out. You know, she's so cute. She's another one. Every single damn time there's another man getting involved. The SpongeBob dude's all leaving his wife. He's just had a baby, and now he's with her. Like, she's not about to drop him like a hot potato when she moves on to her next victim. Oh, but I'm the one here who needs to change, right? I'm the one who is the problem. I'm the one who everybody is so quick to critique my every doing and my every being. You need to change this. You need to change that. You need to do this. When I tell you guys, I got so sick of hearing the phrase "you need to." Like, it's a triggering phrase for me. You need to, 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 you need to. I need to what? You need to wake up, actually, is what you need to do. You need to wake up. But then when you see these women, just so nice and sweet and lovely. Yeah, go ahead, you idiots. I'm not going to be the one held accountable for any of this. I'm not. I'm going to come on here to inform the team so we all know what's going on. And you guys are well informed. And honestly, if people don't believe me, I could not care less. I'm listening to good music at 2 a.m. I'm on the good side of the teams. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the winning team. I'm there with the Lord. We're in love. And why do I care? I actually don't care anymore. That's what I realized. Praise Jesus that I went to Italy. Anywho, so I'm going to go now. I've said that about 3 times, but it's just because I just keep thinking about it. I just keep thinking of Jada Pinkett Smith is another one. Jada. And this only happens when I'm filming, by the way. And I'll tell you guys something crazy. When I was in London, I remember at one point there was a day where there was just so many flies. Isn't it funny that the devil's considered the Lord of the Flies? And I was like, this is actually a spiritual thing now. Anywho, Jada Pinkett Smith is another one. Look at Will. How embarrassing. You're an embarrassment to the male community. And if he could please get away from my generation and getting in the videos with the people of my generation, go off with you and the rest of your celebrity meat riding generation and let us live our lives with Kai Cenat and all these on stream. We don't need you people here and your tyranny. Like, you're not an example. You're pathetic. Look at you and Jada. And what is the name of her band? Another person in a band, Wicked Wisdom. She's called her band Wicked Wisdom. But how many men have I heard throughout the years? Oh, Jada. Not so much these days. Our brains are not functioning. You know what actually drove me crazy about doing my job is having to tell kids that they need to think proactively, because how is thinking not already a proactive process? But I've realized from dealing with the adult population that it's not, unfortunately, in this day and age. Anywho, I'm going to go to sleep, hopefully. And hopefully we'll wake up tomorrow with a bit more functioning taking place in our minds. And then in due course, I will indeed choke out Jezebel. Yep. Because it has to be me. And I know that there's so many believers that have existed throughout history. And I get it. Like, who am I? I'm just a girl, right? Everyone's always got excuses for why I'm just this, I'm just that, I'm just whatever. But I am a daughter of the King. So God, we can just. Anyway, I should join the gym. So I can build up my arm strength. Anyways, life's a game that's pay to win. God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. And I'll see you in my next one.